Greetings, listeners, and welcome to another action-packed episode of Eberron Adventures, brought to you by the Wednesday Night Crew. Join us as we take a journey and go on adventures with our favorite students from Windshire University. Lucar, a halfling sorcerer with wild magic that comes from his patron. Sibling? Patron? Well, anyway, her name's Astrid. Skogar, a half-orc bounty hunter with a passion for map-making and painting. But not painting portraits, more like fences and walls. But maybe he has a secret or two of his own. Azuri, a Kalashtar cleric hiding from the dreaming dark. Kashan, a changeling that is a roguish paladin with his own agenda. Lissa, a human wizard who is into mage breeding and has a familiar named Bigwing. And last but not least is Velma, a half-elf rogue who has an investigative streak and a dark magic dagger. So join us as we listen to these adventurers as they work through their studies and their extracurricular activities to, dare I say, become heroes? Let's pick up where we left off.
Hey,
all right,
we're back.
Yeah, and we're back. Welcome back to session 2, year 2 of Eberron Adventures, Windshire University. So we're just going to jump right in. I'm still on the fence about doing any intro question type things yet. So we'll see if something pops up that's worth going after at some point. I think we know enough about our characters, at least most of our characters, except for one that seemed to change who they are a little bit. We may need to learn a little bit more about. But I think we know a good amount of each other to kind of just jump right in. So where we last left off, I had left you with a multitude of options of what you could go after and what you could adventure and look further into. So just to go through them very quickly, and then I'll ask what you guys decided to do. I think there was a decision, but also there was a really cool moment of when I listened back to last week and I heard like you guys talking when I left for a minute, and like the things that you said you didn't want to do and why. Like I thought that was pretty funny. So I'm curious to see like where we end up. But so we've got the Grandpa Fizzle Spark, the gnome strike. And then there's going to Irontown in Karnath. That's more Lucar centric. The Fizzle Spark is Velma. Reckonmark in Karnath for the Dragon Shard. That's like the main quest line. In looking more into the knockoff mage breeder sphere, ask that Uncle Z had, and then looking into seeing if you can find any info on Tud, who was last spotted in Danthaven, but also potentially could be in Flamekeep, Danthaven being on the way to Flamekeep. So, what was the decision of what you guys wanted to do for the start of this adventure?
Do I remember Dragon Shard?
Yeah,
yes,
I think
we all agreed on Dragon Shard.
and maybe
And it
stop
was on the way.
in
I'm sorry. Go
and
ahead.
see Tud on the way. See the Tud.
Right, everything was on the way.
The
Yeah.
Tud. Sweet.
The missing Tud.
Yeah, I dig that.
The
Okay.
problem with me is that Velma is smarter than I am, so it occurred to me between last Wednesday and this that she probably needs to take pictures of the crime scene before we head off to Karnak.
Ah, yes.
Gotcha. So essentially, yeah. So you're saying you want to collect some info, some visual info on where the
Where it
Dragon Shard
used
was
to
taken
be,
from,
because
right?
apparently there are no witnesses. It's just they're gone. There are strange people who were on campus
Okay.
about the time frame is all we know. And the whole point of me having a camera from the initial concept of character was that
Yeah. Okay.
we could have a record of what of what we forgot to look for the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
time.
That's fair. Okay, so let me see here. So then I don't think I'll bother necessarily pulling the map up. What I will do is I got to dig in just a second into one of my mini folders to find my we need to, because you're going to go to you have to go to the magic school, right? Because that's where the dragon shard was housed, was in the magic school. So what we need is we are in need of some of our educators of some sort there to be able to provide some kind of info for you, right? I believe.
Right. And if some of the magic students could give me some cover, because what I don't really have any business at the magic school. They wouldn't, I don't think they'd be inclined to like just show me a dragon shard that they don't know is missing.
Unless the dean gave you permission.
Yeah, well,
Ah,
you
yeah.
recall how forthcoming he was.
And at this point, Jack or Kashan turns into the dean and says, "Oh, I'll tell you how forthcoming I am now."
Perfect. Dean Branchbreaker, I thought you said good day to me.
Yes, I said,
I hope good day.
I said, I hope you have a good day and learn all about the dragon shard from the magic school. So I will tell everyone within that you are free to look around and see everything that you need to see and no questions asked.
Well, that's perfect.
I think you should probably just start doing the voice, man. So that's what
that was really good.
Oh, I'm a very good impersonator of not celebrities, which is a useless skill.
Okay, so you're gonna go.
I used to do a lot of people from Whole Foods. A lot of Whole Foods.
Nice. Oh, that takes me back. I don't know that I want to know all the people that you could do. So okay, so then pulling up a map of the first floor of the magic school, we can see that. So a lot of these. One thing that you learned in your first year, right, is that there's a, for lack of a better way to put it, there's a whole lot of TARDIS magic going on in these buildings, where it's a lot bigger on the inside than it looks on the outside in many cases. Which, at first, when you first came, you were like, oh, this is so cool, and now you're just like, it's just school. Like you just kind of take it for granted, right? Because you're coming every day and you're taking your classes and you're just living your best life as
you're
a
just
student.
Running into a building looking for the bathroom. You're like, oh, that's right. This one's in the far away.
You're like, oh, I got to go 5 floors for that one. I think the key thing is we want to figure out like where the shard would have been located, and to be honest, I kind of think it would be one of those things that would just be something that was just on display, right? So it would be something that would just be sort of sitting out in main traffic areas, but under protection, so to speak. So you walk in through the main entrance, and maybe we can say like it's somewhere. It would have been somewhere on display in this magical lab over here in the back corner, right? So for those of you that are, which would be who Lissa and Luke are, you guys would know of this shard, having seen it on display behind the glass. So you're able to escort. We'll say you're able to escort Velma into that space, and you can feel free to pick up from there how you wanna handle it. There's random like students like kind of milling about.
Yeah, Velma, come this way. This is where it usually is, and I take her to a display case, and inside the display case, you see the Dial of Destiny from Indiana Jones, the gem eyeball from the player's handbook in the original D&D, and other assorted treasures that's all recognizable. And there's just like a little like an easel display where the start usually holding the shard, and there's a little white placard at the bottom that says Dragon Shard.
Large.
But
in
it's empty.
parentheses.
There's not even a replica in the on display. It was the real thing. Obviously, I want pictures of the display case. I want to see the opening and closing mechanism. Is still locked?
They don't use locks here, Velma. Like, it's all magical wards and shit. Like,
then I
don't
definitely need your help.
we don't trust any of that physical stuff.
Can you tell if the ward is still active? I mean, how did they break the ward without setting off an alarm?
Yeah,
I understand that that's the simplest ward you have.
Yeah, that's not the type of magic I do, so I'm a little lost on how exactly it all works. I tend to just try to blow shit up.
Maybe it must have been a powerful magic user to get through all the wards and hexes on this particular,
Yeah, you're right. There doesn't even seem to be like a fireball set off or a lightning bolt or nothing.
And frankly, the audacity of stealing it right here in the middle of all of these magic users. You must have serious cojones, or perhaps you are involved with the magic school and it was an inside job.
Wow.
Perhaps. Look into it, Velma.
I don't think my camera can record wards or anything.
Have you tried a different filter?
Different filter. I guess if the rules state you can use perception to see wards, then I suppose that the camera can also. But this is a carpeted area. There wouldn't be any footprints like through the dust because or is that tile? Does this, I'm going to ask the magic users here who come to the School of Magic.
It's some sort of engineered.
How well trafficked is this?
Laminate or something. I don't ever come in this lab much, but to tell you the truth, I find these teachers don't have a lot to teach me at this point. So I'm really dependent on Astrid. So I don't spend a lot of time in this lab.
I spent some time in here. I would say that it's pretty well trafficked. The first floor, most convenient. They've got a couple of practicals in here.
Then there is probably not much time before somebody notices this is missing. Obviously, the dean found out, and
clearly, I did find out.
Doesn't seem to be much outrage on campus. It's like I don't know, but we have I guess we have a limited time before people notice.
I mean, honestly, I would have just assumed that they took it out for cleaning or some kind of spell that one of the professors needed to do.
That's a good point. We should put an off-exhibit sign up so that people don't take issue. And we probably want to keep this under wraps. We don't want people to know that Windshire artifacts are just up to grabs for anybody. And also, Lucar, I'm not sure if Astrid will offer the same credits that our esteemed Windshire University would do.
So out of game
attention
question
to your class.
Out of game question, really quick. Did anybody
notice that cat walk in? No.
No. Did anybody notice so Kashan, did Kashan turn into Dean just with Velma? Like who knows?
I think at this point, the cat's out of the bag. No pun intended. What the picture up, but
Yeah.
I did just turn into the dean in front of everybody. as if like, hey, this is a new trick, but
Yeah. Okay.
I like to get
Fair.
into character. What can I say?
Yeah. Fair. No, that's
Well,
good. Okay.
if
So
the
then,
if the carnival is canon, then everybody found out.
yeah, exactly. And this it is very much canon. Because there's because as soon as the whole Mage Ball story part was introduced, I had to take full advantage of that as a black market knockoff of the OG Mage Breeder Sphere. And so thank you, Chad, for that content, because that will prove to be very beneficial for year 2. So as you're having this conversation and Dean Kashan is talking to everybody, up walks Dr. Nasolu Shelv, who is a Tabaxi sorcerer. And so Lucar, you know who Dr. Shelv is, because he teaches some of your classes. So
Yep.
you do have a base interaction and knowledge of this person. And he comes up and he's like, Lucar, how nice of you to finally show up outside of class time. Normally we hardly see you here. Hello.
Hey, Professor. Yeah.
That's
the-
Doctor. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Dr. Professor. The dean here has us looking for something, and we noticed that the dragon shard isn't around. Any ideas where what might have happened to it? I thought that there were wards on these items in this display case.
Yes, that is correct. It is rather unfortunate. But greetings, Dean. It's been quite some time since you've come into our school here.
Yes, you're right. It has been a while, but I figured with the start of the semester, I should take a look at all of these schools and see how they're running, and this unfortunate incident with the dragon shard. I need to know who has access to these hexes and wards, and who can turn them on, who can turn them off. This is information that me and my fellow students need to know. I mean,
Yes.
not my fellow students, but like these fellows who are the students, not as in the fellow students as if we were, because clearly I am the dean.
Yes, Dean. I understand. I know it is very difficult for to keep track of everything. There's so many students and so many different majors and paths to take. It's a lot to keep track of, and especially with the recent, shall we say, faculty injuries that occurred last year. I know you've got a lot of insurance paperwork to take care of.
Indeed, and that's another reason you don't see me. I mean, I'm glad you stay here in the stuffy libraries and magic schools and don't head out. It's much safer here, or so I thought, till this dragon shard incident. I'm very disappointed.
Yes.
Very disappointed, Doctor.
Very astute of you. And then you see, you notice that like he kind of twitches for a second, like he does this weird twitch, and he's like, and you hear him mutter really quietly, "No, I am not trying to be a kiss ass. I'm trying to secure my tenure. Shut up. And then he just kind of turns back and looks at you, and he just kind of chuckles to you, Dean. He's like, it's like it's just a little antsy and little wild magic antsiness going on in the old head up here. You know, the brain matter is feeling a little off today. I'm sure, Lucar, I'm sure you can relate to my problem.
Totally understand, Professor.
Yes. I wonder if maybe a straight up wizard without this extra outer. Well, anyways, that's neither here nor there. But perhaps my hiring practices in the future. I'll take a look at them.
And Dr. Shelf says, he says, well, I've heard I know I have her in my future, but not in my current. I've heard many great things about Lissa here. Maybe she can with her double major. Maybe she can use some of her natural magic investigative skills to look at this case and what I know is of the wards. The wards are still intact. It is quite possible that they could have been dispelled and then put back in place, if you will, almost as if someone could have replicated the magic that was cast upon this. It seems rather strange, but Liz, I'd love for you to take a look and see what you can find for yourself, and maybe share your wisdom with the rest of the group. Let
Absolutely.
them really see what you know how to do.
Absolutely, Professor. I would love to. Wards aren't my strong suit, more with animals, but Uncle Z has a couple of these wards around his lab. That's a 13
Um,
Arcana.
so you discover that the wards in place are wards that are because you've been here before many times.
Yeah.
So you know that the wards that are on this case to protect it are the same. It's the same type of magic, same family of magic that you are already familiar with.
Okay.
So to your knowledge and your investigation, it would appear that it is the same.
Mhm. It appears it was the same. So the same person who, did it before likely put these back or back up, or they stayed up while someone broke through.
If
Yeah.
they stayed up, I'm asking you magic users if this is a possibility that perhaps the shard is still there with invisibility cast upon it. Can you cast through a ward?
I could try.
I don't see why not, as long as you can see through it. I think that these are okay.
Dr. Shelf.
I'm
Dr.
wondering
Shelf
if
jumps, seeing Skogar. When did you get here? Sorry, go ahead, Andrew.
I was just wondering if somebody had not actually stolen it, but just by casting invisibility is waiting for the person who put up the wards to come and take them down and investigate the theft, at which point the culprit could return and pick up the artifact.
Now that would be some three-dimensional chess, Velma. That's why your brain works that way. It's
Four-dimensional hyper chess, right?
I love it.
Well, if that theory were correct, though, we would be the ones triggering the effect, and then go ahead, Dr. Shelf. Why don't you
So while
dispel
Velma,
the ward?
yeah, while Velma is trying to like problem solve through this, Lucar, your good old familiar white noise kicks in.
Nice.
And it's like hey bro, what's going on? What's going on? What's the deal here? What's happening?
We're looking for the dragon shard or clues to where it might be, and we're not getting very far.
I thought you were gonna get me a body. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, Ironton, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get there. We've
don't Luke, buddy, don't play me, man. We've had a good thing going. Like,
I'm there, man.
Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me.
I know we've just got lots going on, and there's a whole bunch of us, and I can't just go off on my own.
All right, I mean, you got Fireball. I think you can go off on your own a little bit anyway. I'm just saying, like, but I get it. You roll with your crew. That's fine. So this whole thing, that's like, let me just tell you right now, there is the dragon.
That big ass dragon shard that was in there is not in there. There's no. It's not an illusion. It's not invisible. It's not. It's gone. So
Yeah,
just tell them. Just find a fancy way to make it sound like you're using magic and you're all cool, and you tell them that like, oh, you figured it out, and it's not there.
Any ideas where it could be or how it got out of here?
This whole because I was listening earlier. You got that name, the Sharp Feathers, right? That's
Yes.
that's the name of the visitors that are questionable. And I will say that that's an incredibly powerful magic surname that even comes to we even know about it where I'm at.
Got it. All right.
So they could likely, if they themselves couldn't have the power to do it, they would find the ways and means to make it happen. So they got some power and for sure pull.
Got it. All right. Thanks, Astrid, old buddy, old pal.
And they're into some weird shit. Just saying. So just Karnath is a weird place. It's cool, but it's weird. And you'll see. I gotta go. I gotta bounce. And then the white noise goes away.
All right. So I'm gonna say, hey, let me. I think I might have a way of figuring out where this dragon shard went. There's this new spell I've been working on with the help of. I've been working on this new spell that I think might be able to figure out what the next clue would be. And I go through all this like somatic and, but basically I cast polymorph so that it spells out sharp feather where the dragon shard would be in like a neon light. It's like, whoa, the dragon shard's definitely not there. But look what the clue left. It has a name. Like maybe that should be our next place to go. The sharp feathers.
That was incredible, Lucar. Now I can see why you don't come here as much after class. You have such a grasp on your magic capabilities. Your wild magic suits you well.
Well, thank you, Doctor. I'm sure I still have much to learn from you and the others, though. I'll try to hang out when I can.
And he says consider this some good real life experience points for your grade so far. So this is good work. Extra credit, if you will, I believe is the term.
Doctor, make sure that Lucar doesn't just skate on by with extra credit, though. He really needs to. He really needs to study and really get to the classes. I don't encourage the lack of the skipping of classes, as it were. He really needs. Agree. In fact, it sounds as if maybe he needs to spend even more time here within the magic school, and I think maybe load him up with more credit hours. It sounds like, I guess what I'm saying is it sounds like he excels and he needs that extra work.
That's actually a great point, Dean. So, Lucar, why don't you come by so your one class is I think it's on Wednesday afternoon, I believe. Why don't you come by on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the afternoon for 2 hours and help with sorting our spell book section in our library here. It would be a great boon to us. Yeah?
I don't think my parents can afford the tuition for the extra classes. So,
someone sounds like they're not an adult and can't make their own decisions without their parents.
Well, Dean, I'm sure you understand in trying to keep a university up and running that you need a certain amount of tuition money. And my parents just can't afford to
This
send me
isn't.
for an extra 4 hours worth of work.
No worries, Lucar. We can
No,
talk to you.
no
we can
worries,
talk to-
Lucar. You can do it for free. I have a great time I come every Tuesday.
You should be more like Lissa, Lucar.
So Lissa, maybe you can how they say show him the ropes on the first Tuesday next
Of
week.
course. Yes, absolutely.
Very good. Yes,
Mhm.
I must go now and get ready for my intermediates. Yes.
Just before you go, I see that by the shape of the dust around the empty space, I can see that this artifact was too big to secrete in somebody's fold of a cloak. I was wondering, how heavy would that have been? Would it take one or two people? Is it a dense artifact? Is it like gossamer?
So the doctor points at Skogar and says,
I believe that he could have probably carried it on his own.
No, I had an eye on him. He did.
Are you accusing Skogar here?
No,
Skogar has
no,
done
no.
much for this universe.
He does have a
painted
record
many
now.
walls.
I don't have the stone. I don't have it.
I am trying to make an analogy here.
Okay.
Come now. You have a camera. You come across as though you are investigative. You are very curious. Yes. So you should know. I don't literally mean he took the shard.
I was ribbing you, Doc. But however, again, mentioning the dust in that case, maybe you should conjure some unseen servants to do the dusting in here.
That is fair. I appreciate your critique, and I think you should probably go on about your way to determine where this shard is. I thank you for looking out for it. I appreciate that. Dean, may I speak to you for a moment?
Oh, well, you know how it is, Doctor. I have many other obligations. I don't know if I have the time to speak privately. Oh, maybe just a moment. Yes, of course.
and he pulls you off to the side, and he just says to you,
I don't appreciate your your special students that you seem to be taking extra time and attention with in critiquing the state of cleanliness in this school in which they are attending. You may want to have a separate conversation with this young nosy person there.
Oh, they are these are meddling kids indeed. You're right, and I haven't seen it first. I should have seen it, and you're right. They, I tried to, help out with Lucar, and then I'm ignoring the fact that this one insults you.
But I know. You think that these are the saviors of Eberron, that they are going to protect us from the second coming of. But anyway, never mind. So I don't want to get you started. I don't want to get you started up again. I don't want to get you started up again like last time we talked about this. Okay, I must go now. Seriously, I'm running behind.
Okay, Doctor. Bye. Interesting.
and he leaves and goes down the hall to go on about his business. And so
or does he leave, or does Kashan turn into him?
Because why not? How many voices can Kashan do in one night?
Oh, I don't know. I can do plenty of voices.
It's like, go ahead.
Skogar leans over to Lissa and says, I told you that Gene's up to something. Goes sniffing down the trail. We'll get him one of these days.
We will. Just got to keep our eyes open.
We'll get him. Yeah. So Velma, I think you're sort of, I think you're lightweight, like leading the charge a little bit here, right? Because you got your photos, you got some information, presumably. So, what's next?
I guess we can head to the train station We got a long way to Karnath, and I got to be back by Monday.
Yep. That's actually a good way to put it. So yeah, we're gonna say like this is towards the end of the week. None of you, conveniently enough, none of you will miss any classes because it's really heading into the weekend here in the hopes that you can kind of knock this thing out in a weekend trip and get back in time so you don't disrupt your schedule. So essentially it's a short walk to if you exit Windshire, you do have the opportunity to catch one of the magic coaches to take you to the closest rail station if you so desire. There's just a matter of funding, which I don't really think is much of a problem for anybody at this point. I think you're all somewhat flush with cash to some capacity. So you get yourself a magic coach, and you leave Windshire U, and you head to the train station that's right here on the map by where my little mouse hand is. And then you proceed to get on the lightning rail. And just for the so like as you jump on the lightning rail, it's about 3 or 4 cars. Not too big. It's this is more of the daily, like the weekday passing back and forth train, so it's not too long like it would normally be on the weekends, right? And you're heading in the direction of essentially of Reckenmark, and because if you wanted to go to Flame Keep, you would have had to have taken the rail the opposite direction or gone south or whatever, because there's no like really direct easy route that's on the rail. The route is actually like would be more on like taking Magic Coach to Flame Keep. So for now, unless somebody wants to stop at Flame Keep, we can say that you're heading towards Reckenmark.
Flame Keep is where I think Teddy Rubskin is, right? Is that where
Tutty is?
Tutty.
Yes. So you could take a Magic Coach instead if you want to go there.
No, maybe we can.
You can try to hit it on the way back or not.
Yeah, maybe we'll hit it on the way back.
Okay.
I'm in no rush to make Tutty.
That's fair. I can understand. I mean, it's not the best name in the world. So yeah, you get on the rail, and based on some of your guys' travels and ventures that have not been documented, you're fairly familiar with taking the rail now, and you know that you can, because of how fast this thing is, you can get to Reckenmark in just a matter of a few hours on the lightning rail, which would take days to do normally. So you're paying the money, but for now you've got enough cash to get you where you need to go. It's not too packed with people. Now as you're traveling along on the rail, you guys are just kind of having some conversation amongst yourselves. Is there any so Kashan, who are you right now?
I'm Kashan, the golden child.
Okay. So you're back to Golden Boy.
Yes, the Golden Boy is my new regular appearance.
Got it. Perfect. So as you guys get on, like just to kind of like really kind of capture like the vibe as you get on, there are some background NPC females that and so even a couple males that as they see Kashan board, they glance, give sideways glances, and some of the there's one woman leans in and talks to another one as they kind of eye you up and down, and they're just sort of marveled by your perfect handsome I guess demigod like appearance, right? So you're getting a lot of attention from a visual standpoint as you go to sit down, and everybody else kind of, I'm assuming, kind of stays together. And then let's say you get like a couple messages on your smart stone, like just quick little messages, and
Okay.
it's they're from Uncle Z, and it's like hey, a bubble, and then it's like dot dot, and then dots, and then it's like hey, so you'll never guess what I found out, and then a couple more dots, and then it's like, I thought it was just a bunch of bullshit, but it's really true, and then it's like, and then there's a few dots, and it's like, but this one takes longer, and you're waiting, you're like, and you're like was this like clickbait? Like you're like, what the hell's going on? And then Uncle Z says, did you you care about animals and creatures and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then he sends another message and says, dude, the rails that you guys like to ride, they're
Okay.
they're fueled by elementals.
Oh.
They chain elementals to the bottom of these rails.
Whoa. All caps. Whoa.
And force them to run the rails.
And then that's terrible. Are you serious? Are you for real? Oh no.
And he just says, would I lie to you?
Well, it depends.
Big-eyed emoji. And then he's like, you may want to talk to your weird hobbit friend about this stuff. She probably wouldn't like it either. And then he doesn't say anything else.
I say thanks for letting me know.
And he just leaves you on red.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, for the rest of your trip. Okay, so you is there anything, any conversation that you guys want to have about anything before we head into Wreck and Mark? Anything going on in anybody's heads at the moment?
It's a long, uncomfortable, silent trip.
So
that's the way Azuri likes it.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, somebody opens
Zuri.
their mouth to speak and just no.
Yeah.
Lissa's like, do I mention the fact that we are riding with enslaved elementals, or do I wait until we're there? I don't know. She just goes back and forth.
Because then we got to find horses or something.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think Lissa
Okay,
doesn't
it
strike
sounds
me
like
as
you already mentioned it. So
Lissa doesn't strike me as like the protester type really too much.
Not really. The
At least not
convenience
yet,
the
is
horses
pretty
think
good.
about us riding them. I mean, it's
You've got a point, Velma. But yeah.
So
besides, I got to be back by Monday.
Kashan is just like looking at these holy texts and going, ugh, so many rules. For real? Come on.
So then as you
These probably guidelines, I hope.
as you're riding the rail, as you start to approach Wreck and Mark, and apologies for this crazy map because this was the best thing I could find on quick notice, just to make sure we had something ready to go. So as you approach in on the rail, which goes alongside this white arch bridge here, right? Which from a visualization standpoint, if you think about where that would be, that's going to be right here from Thalist over to Wreck and Mark, right? Lucar, we're kind of passing like through your neck of the woods. Is there anything you want to say to the gang about that, or talk about, or anything, or
No,
let it ride? Yeah.
just let it ride.
Okay. All right. So you cross over the bridge. A wonderful voice comes over the speaker system in the rail, and says, "Welcome to the country of Karnath. You are about to enter Wreck and Mark. Karnath's motto is death
holds no terror. And then as you pass over the bridge, you see like there's an arch over the bridge, and in that arch is carved the saying "Death holds no terror." And then a sign hangs down up to the side. It says "Welcome to Karnath," and then the voice continues and says, "The capital of Karnath is Korth. The industries of Karnath are," and it's like lumber from the north. "Karnath makes a lot of paper, and it is the premium paper of the land. In Reckenmark is the head office of the Scott Michael Paper Company. Dairy and meat production are high in this country. Select cheeses are made by hand and shipped across most of northern Corvair. Many breweries exist, and the most popular ale is Nightwood Ale, and the favorite accompaniment is our bitter cheese made along the Carn River. This is just a little bit of information about our wonderful country. We hope you enjoy your time herein." And then it's like, and then the Karnath, like, like it's like just filling in a different name or something, you know? So the rail stops, and it opens up and just kind of puts you right at the, it takes you actually all the way through to the rail district at the end, where the main, like, it's like it would be like a bus station, right? So it's like the rail station. So you get out, and so you have to figure out how where you're gonna find the sharp feathers. So what would you like to do? It's pretty kind of open to any sort of ideas of how you want to try to approach this.
Where do you guys think that cheese is at? I mean, like, should definitely get some cheese while we're here.
Oh,
Yep.
I'm sure every corner market's going to have some cheese for you. It's all going to be the authentic kind. It's just cheese. Come on.
That's right. They all say it's the only kind.
Yeah, they're going to say they're the original cheese, but there's going to be like 10 of these places that say they have the original cheese recipe. It's just cheese. And you're going to taste it and you're going to feel like, "Oh yeah, this is the best cheese I've ever had." But it's just the fact that we're here. It's not going to be any better than any cheese anywhere else. Now that beer, on the other hand, I'm very interested in that ale. So maybe
right. And where are you going to hear rumors except at the ale house?
Exactly. And I'm sure they have a cheese
rumors
there.
at the cheese house.
As you two were talking, you noticed Skogard had turned around and he's just at the gift shop in the Rails district.
Buying all the cheese.
Yeah,
Nice.
he's already got one cheese he's eating and paying for another cheese.
Nice.
That's like where they sell the most like easy to get version of their like regional cheese, right?
Yeah.
That like they just sell like it's just like at a kiosk.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Lucar, you said that the sharp feathers were a well-known name in Karnath, and that they were into weird shit. But do you suppose it's safe to ask openly where they reside?
I'll see why not.
Okay. Then while we're going to the nearest brew house.
Okay.
I mean, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
So instead of just trying to be subtle and listen in, we're gonna.
Yeah, of course.
So what about them sharp feathers?
Yeah, so we're gonna take you over into.
What have they been up to?
We're gonna take you to Hawker Park. I think looks like a great area to go. So we'll take you down through there, and you kind of there's some like stands, like market stand, tent area, right? That's pretty considerable, large, with like a lot of different craft tables and things like that, and games, and it's more so of like just your standard, like almost like a riff on a farmer's market, but pretty good size. And on the other side of that are some small businesses like brick and mortar, where there's like, there's tavern, there's a cheese shop, there's a tavern, there's a bakery. So all your standard fare is there. So would you like to go to the closest tavern? Is that the plan?
Yes. And
All
I will
right.
order a charcuterie board and a medium brown ale.
Yeah, so you walk into the Nightwood Tavern, which is a modest tavern. Really nice place though. Nice woodwork and more darker woods on the walls, as well as the bar itself. Some very nicely designed, like crafted tables. Not super ornate, but just really well built, really solid. And Kashan, because you were paying attention to when they mentioned the ale as the rail brought you in, you realized that, because you were talking smack about a cheese, just like any cheese. Well, this bar is actually named after the most popular ale in this region, called the Nightwood Tavern. So you get a sneaking suspicion that you'll be able to get some Nightwood ale here. Yeah, so there's you got your standard couple servers walking around, you got a bartender. What would you like to do?
Well,
I
obviously, go ahead.
Yeah, I think Velma's got the good idea of the charcuterie board and some Nightwood ales.
Okay, so you grabbing a table or going to sit at the bar, or what do you think?
I think we'll grab a table. There's a bunch of us, right?
Yeah, it's not too. I mean, there's some traffic, but it's not too packed. There's some tables available. So you find a nice little round table, about like 6 or 7 chairs scattered, around the outside of it, and you sit down. A server comes over. They're dragonborn, and you don't typically see a lot of dragonborns in this part of Eberron usually. And as you guys sit down, like he's like, hey, what can I get you guys? He throws like a little menu card down on the table, which has like just like couple sandwiches, and then coincidentally enough, they just happen to have a charcuterie board option as one of their apps, and then a small beverage list. What can I do for you guys?
Well, after ordering our drinks, I'm gonna say we're here on kind of a weekend getaway. The motto of your village is "Death holds no terror," but let me tell you, way back in Windshire, it is wicked terrifying. Believe me, I would know.
Oh, you're from.
Here we are, and we heard other rumors about what town are we in again?
You're in Breckenmark.
Breckenmark.
Yeah, you guys are from Windshire. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
We heard rumors of not rumors, but that there's a unique culture here in Karnak, and like those sharp feathers, those into all kinds of weirdness. Are any of the tales true? Since in consultation with Lucard, it doesn't seem like it'd be dangerous to bring it up.
Are you talking about the sharp feather farm?
Yes.
Yeah. That's just on the southern edge of town. What do you want? What do you want to know about it?
The purple or the teal?
Yeah, so I would even dare say it's like right here in the Out Farm District area down here, just past their little fence area and stuff.
It can't be too crazy, can it, down there on the farm district? Rumors have to be can't be true. Just like a game of telephone from here to Windshire, and everything gets blown out of proportion.
Well, I mean, I assume. I mean, and he's like, he's like, well, hey, hang on, I'll be right back. And he comes back with your guy's charcuterie tray, and puts it like, he looks around at all of you, and like, he sets down some side plates, and then he puts the charcuterie tray and charcuterie board in front of Skogar. Um, and and then he looks out of the corner of his eye, and he sees Lucar's face of disappointment, and he comes back with a small little mini charcuterie board, and he's like, I got you, man. And
you're gonna have to switch those, Skogar and Lucar.
And he says,
Lucar needs the big one.
Says, just FYI, I live on tips. But anyway, and then he looks back at you, Velma, and he's like, so it's like, well, I'm assuming you're not really. I'm assuming you've never really been here, since you're not even pronouncing our country the right way, because it's Karnath. So, you don't know about this place, do you?
Oh, I don't know anything, and I slide a gold piece across the bar.
He's like, he grabs it so smoothly and effortlessly, like when you go to tip a maitre d to get bumped to the top of the wait list, and
he harumphs me.
No, not at all. He gives you a slow nod, cool guy nod, and he's like, all right, let me give you a little lore dump here for a quick second. So the thing about Karnath is that Karnath is literally, we are really the closest country with any sort of population to the Mornland. Like, I mean, some people would argue and say Thrain is, but fuck Thrain. Like Karnath has seen more shit, thanks to what happened during the morning, and the Mornland, and the kind of crap that comes across the borders. That's why we got that Fort Zombie and Fort Bones. You think like, oh, they're so scary. Well, no, those are actually that's actually the Order of the Onyx Skull, and it's they're bone knights, and we've actually had some military leaders that have found a way to control undead for their armies. And so we've been using that to kind of protect our borders, because that's where the stuff gets crazy. And that's why we say death holds no terror, because I mean, we employ dead people to help protect us. So does it make sense? It's starting to kind of all add up a little bit.
I had suspicions. Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah, but
meanwhile, Lucar
it's a great place to live.
Lucar was getting ready to put a tip down when the charcuterie board came, but when he said "fuck Thrain," he just sort of pocketed it back and put it back in his purse.
Fair. That is fair. And he doesn't even notice. He's just like, no, I was a student in Windshire for a year. I didn't really, it wasn't really a good fit for me. So I've been just working here, saving up money, and I think I'm gonna take a long distance trip. Got to check out the rest of Eberron. I really haven't been many places. I'm thinking maybe Brayland. There's some really cool places around there. There's some sky cities and stuff that sound pretty cool. So yeah, I gotta make my way before I get stuck. I can't be at this bar forever, man. This can't be my life. And he says, so what else can I do for you?
Knowing that you want to get out of here, I don't have all the money in the world, but you can have another few gold pieces. I just slide. Since you knew that I knew nothing about Karnath, assume I know nothing about the sharp feathers and all these rumors that I had alluded to. What's the worst that you've heard about them?
So roll a persuasion check. First dice roll of the evening.
And it's going to be a -1.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh.
No, it's not going to. Persuasion. It's not going to be good, though. Yes, it's a straight 7.
Okay. Well, my counter is I rolled an 11. So he's gonna say, what? I mean, he says he's like, what? They're two magic users and they're brothers, and they're into some weird stuff, but so is like 90% of Karnath. So I mean, I don't know. It's south in the farm district. It's south in the farm district area, man. Like just outside of town. Just go check it out. Just look for the Sharp Feather Farm, and you'll see for yourself.
Okay, I can do that. A round for the table, then.
Just don't come. Just don't come. Just don't come across too aggressive, and hopefully you'll be fine. And he gets you guys another
stealth.
And he gets you guys. He gets you guys another round. He gets you guys another round, and then he walks. He goes to like take care of some other patrons. And yeah, so you can, you want to, I don't know, any conversation you need to have about anything or thoughts about the approach, what you want to do. I know, Velma, you've been kind of leading the charge a little bit, so.
Well, I'm open to ideas, and I do think the beer is quite good. So I take a long pull on it and see if anyone has ideas other than just going straight in and snooping around.
So,
well, when we get close, I don't know. I spent time in mines, and I can sometimes smell a rock. I think I might be able to help locate it. No, and Skogar kind of says this nervously, and that's what he says.
Anyone else? Any other thoughts?
I take it back. This cheese is really good. It's really good.
Isn't
I
it?
know,
So
right?
good.
Amazing.
I want to
Really
order
good.
like what are their drippiest melted cheese sandwich?
I mean, I understand. Yeah, I understand why they tell people about this. It's so good.
So you so you guys we'll fast forward a little bit to get to where there'll be a little bit more excitement, and you guys take a stroll. You're walking through, and it's like, I mean, it's like a 15 20 minute walk. You just through the section that you're in, and it takes you about an hour to walk to the outskirts of town, and you enter like the out farm district, and you see in the south, you see signs on the trail that you're walking on that say Sharp Feather Brain Farm, and it says 50 feet ahead or something like that.
Is this like Kilkenny where they're just sitting on the porch waiting to fight people?
No.
Brain farm? Did we read that right?
I think you did.
All right, cool.
So
So they're growing like corpses in those fresh brains for the zombies in their fields.
Guys, I have a bad feeling about this. Do we have to?
Azuri, you
Well,
always
we
have a
can-
bad feeling.
And most of the time, it's right.
it's like his middle name.
And to be fair, this does say brain farm. I don't.
Yeah, so I'm gonna set the stage for you, and then I gotta grab a quick bio break. So you guys can talk about what approach you want to take for a minute if you want. So I pulled up a map of what the farm looks like, basically. So there's a trail going up to the main entrance of the farm, and there's a big sign that just said It just says the Sharp Feather, Brothers Brain Farm, and it says like EST dot, and then it's got like, so it's, the farm's been around for probably about 100 years, and it really just looks like a normal farm. You see, there's a couple farm hands that are kind of leaning up against the main entrance. There's some debris and stuff like kind of scattered around. Like it's not a farm meant for lots and lots of tourists. So it's a more like rural farm, right? But so you see a lot of different like debris around and stuff. And there's 2 farm hands at the front. And then you see there's like a few fields around the outskirts. There's some fencing. You see some pigs towards the front. You can make out a barn and towards the back, and a house and a couple, a few wagons and stuff in the main, like, that are parked out in the little court, like a courtyard area kind of deal. So that's kind of the lay of the land that you see right before you. So yeah, give me like 1 minute while you guys talk about what you want your strategy to be, and I'll be right back.
What if the cheese is made out of brains? I might take it all back.
I got no problem with that.
That would be fine.
I've been hankering a chilled monkey brain ever since the carnival. All right, so I snuck around the outside, and I see that they have 4 cows, 2 horses, and 4 pigs, but there's no chickens. So I'm definitely suspicious about how this can't be a real farm.
Well, everybody knows chickens are dumb and have no brains, so it would just make sense that there's no chickens here.
Right, you could skip on the chickens. We shouldn't bring up Windshire. If they did steal it and we say we're from there, they're gonna, I think, be suspicious.
Well, where should we say we're from?
Apparently
don't like
not
Thrain either. Yeah,
Thrain. We can't go to. They hate Thrain here,
right.
or at least a bartender does.
What's that other school? What's our rival?
Arcanics.
Arcanics. There we go. Yes, we're taking a field trip.
He might have. If he went to Arcanics, he might be leading us astray by sending us here.
Maybe we could get Kashan to pretend he's from Arcanics, and he's looking to make a deal to acquire items for his school.
Okay, let's do that. Zuri, let me borrow a cravat. I know you have
what? For who?
You know, the thing, the neck thing. It's
You mean an ascot?
Yeah, the ascot. Velma, you got one, right?
Well, I probably have a disguise kit somewhere. Yes, there's one in my disguise kit.
Yeah.
Do you mind, like, pink?
No, not at all. I will also take a cravat if anybody has a cravat.
Skilgard reaches down into his pants and pulls out that thermal underwear and holds it out. You mean this?
No, people from Arcanics do not wear those.
Okay, then. He stuffs it back in his leather pants.
So what have you guys decided on?
I've decided on putting on an ascot.
Either the cravat or the ascot. We haven't decided.
Well, since nobody offered a cravat, I put on the ascot that Velma provides.
Okay.
And I'm telling we're gonna tell them that I'm from Arcanics and I'm looking into the purchase of a dragon shard. Is that correct?
Yes, dragon shard. Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
I guess we shouldn't all be standing around in a group behind him. We ought to make ourselves scarce.
No. People are Arcanic. We need followers. I mean, that's one of the things. Hangers-ons, if you were, as it were.
Are you doing anything about your appearance?
No, I think the golden child is like wonderful enough as it is. It's very the ascot's enough.
Right. So you approach and you see there are 2 farmhands one positioned on either side of the entrance to the farm, and one of them sees you walking up, says, "Hey there, what can I do you for?"
Oh, hello. I'm here on business, as it were.
Business.
Absolutely, of the clandestine type, of the secretive type.
You in a clan? What?
I think he means the horse, the Clydesdale.
I think I need to speak with your masters, as if it were. Thank you.
Oh, you mean the bosses is what you're talking about?
Yes, the bosses, the masters, the people who whip you and make you do work.
Oh, I ain't got no whips, no whip marks on me.
Well, clearly that is a problem, but that's for another time, and perhaps we could discuss that with your boss.
I don't know. I quite like your tone.
I don't care if you quite like my tone. This is the tone I'm giving.
Nobody at Arcanix likes his tone, but we deal with it because he's the man.
Right now, I see some lightweight looking guy with a scarf on his neck. Something. This ain't. I mean, where we come from around here, this ain't that impressive.
I'm not trying to impress you. If I wanted to do that, I'd show indoor plumbing.
I think I feel like we're at a point of intimidation roll.
Absolutely.
I feel we've gotten to that point now.
Absolutely. Let's get that roll there. I'm sure I probably have that. Maybe. Well, I hope I do because I rolled pretty low. All right. We are intimidating. That is a 12.
Okay.
On my
Yeah,
intimidation.
DC 10 was all you needed for this one. And they're like, thing. All right. Well, he'll take you to see him. I want nothing to do with you. You're kind of an asshole, but I mean, money's money, I guess. So that's up to the brothers to decide. You can go talk to them. And he just kind of goes and like turns the other way, and the other guy's like, "Hey, y'all come with me."
Thank you. Politeness. I appreciate that.
Hey,
Philip had quite a mouth on him.
Sure thing. I'm the newer guy. I'm trying to work my way up. Make that gal fire, as they say. Make that gold, right?
It does not seem like you have much competition here. I see you going far.
Well, I do appreciate that. Let me take you up here to the house. And he walks you.
I'll put in a good word for you, young man.
And he walks you into the like courtyard area here. So all of you are following suit, right? So you can see behind, like you can see there's a well. You can see that there's there's a wagon. There's you can hear barnyard animal noises going throughout the barn area, and then you see as you get closer to the front door, like the steps to the front door of the farmhouse, out comes an individual that kind of looks like this. He's short in stature, carrying a staff, and looking kind of gruff, and looks at you, eyes you up and down, and he's like, "Help you?"
Yes, I'm here from the Arcanix University on behalf of Professor von Hoofermeyer, my father.
Okay.
I'm looking to make a purchase for the university that, from my understanding, you may have come into, as it were, something you would like to move on to get some wonderful gold for, and something that would like to acquire.
You need some brains. That's what you're here for.
No. I have plenty of those. You can share those with the farmhands out front. They seem to need them.
Nice.
No, but I was interested in more of a shard, as it were.
Oh, you talking? Yeah, you're talking about them dragon shards, yeah.
Yes, I am talking about them dragon shards.
See, and he turns his like staff around and like picks his teeth with the end of it,
Ugh.
and he's like says, mind you, this had been like touching the ground as he turns it up and picks his teeth. He's like, see, the thing about them there dragon shards, we need them. We ain't got none of them for sale.
Do you need all of them?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's understandable. So you need the dragon shards, and I understand that. And we also need dragon shards, and I don't want to spend all this time bickering and figuring out how much each is worth. I guess my real question then would be, who is your dragon shard supplier? Have you come into some dragon shards lately? Some newer ones?
I mean, I don't know that that's rightly your business. We come by them. However,
I see.
how we come by them, I don't need to. You don't need to worry your handsome little self about that. I don't think.
Well, that's the thing. Like obviously you're telling me your dragon shards are not for sale, and I understand that. But I'm looking to get into the dragon shard business, and I would love to purchase dragon shards from you or somebody else who's more willing to deal. And I guess I want to become part of that group, part of that. Figure out like where you obtain these dragon shards and how I can obtain a dragon shard. And believe me, Professor Van Hoovermeyer has plenty of money.
So
the thing is that Windshire University has one, and Arcanics cannot let that pass. We need at least one.
Well, Windshire don't have one no more.
You don't
Is that a
say.
fact? Why do you say that?
Because they don't.
That's news to me. I'm wondering how out here in the boonies you found out.
But it was warded. How could anybody get past the wards?
He says, he spins, he like twirls his staff around, and there's like this like electrical energy that's like following it like in a trail, and he says, wards ain't shit. It's gone because we got it.
I'm not sure I believe you. I mean, you're talking a nice game about wards ain't shit, that you're all the powerful magic user. You can get dragon shards. You need them all. You can't share. You not even for sale. But I don't even believe you have it.
He's like now, and he steps like he takes a step forward towards you, like kind of like a little aggressively.
I take a step back like I'm scared, but I'm not, because
because you've died 3 times, and this is you're kind of fine. And he's like, listen, I may sound like it, but I wasn't just born yesterday, and I know you're trying to see if you can see the dragon shard and all that. You're trying to pull a fast one on old Laramie here, but that ain't gonna happen.
Now either you're here to buy some of our goods, and we'll take care of you, or you need to be fitting to leave.
I must apologize, Laramie. You clearly are the brains of this operation. Forgive me.
And then as he says,
sampling his own product, I think.
as you say that, then this guy comes up and he says, and he sounds like, because I'm not gonna be able to sound like you, Chris, like the voice you're using, but I'll go get as close as I can. He says, "Did someone say the brains of the operation?"
Now clearly here is a man of taste and refinement that we can speak with.
It's like, yes, most definitely. My name is Brainerd. I'm Laramie's brother.
I see the resemblance. It's uncanny. We were discussing dragon shards.
Oh yes, I believe as Laramie likes to call them, the city folk like to call those batteries. That's the name that they tend to. But usually they're usually rather small. But we came upon a rather large one recently. Yeah.
It sounds like I understand.
I'm sure he probably told you because he can't seem to keep his mouth shut. And Laramie's like, I'm damn proud of what we did. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. We don't need to tell everybody and their brother about this. Okay. All right. And as Brainerd turns to talk to you, Kashan, like you can see like his head throb. And he's like, yes, so I'm afraid to say though, my brother was correct that we're not parting with any dragon shards, unfortunately. I mean, we rightfully took it. It's a rich university. They didn't need it. It was on display. We need it for what we're doing. We're doing good here.
I mean, frankly, have you've been to Windshire? It is clearly in many needs. I feel like anything, taking from them is very cruel. They're very poor, sadly university.
But they had the dial of destiny right next to it, just sitting there.
It was fake. I have it on good authority. There are three artifacts that they count of the, people say there's 5 in that collection. There's only 3 in that collection. The original 3. You don't need the last 2. Nobody talks about those. They ignore those. So it's not that important. But yes, I understand. So, let's not talk dragon shards anymore. I'm very curious. Brain farm. Tell me more. I'd like maybe this is the new investment we go to instead of batteries. Kind of name is that? That doesn't even sound exciting. Brain farming. Now that sounds exciting.
He says, I'm glad you ask. It's so often, it's so rare I get to explain to somebody not from here what we do. So we take in animals, many different kinds of animals, many creatures, woodland creatures and the like, and we get them nice and healthy, and then we kill them and harvest their brains.
Well, that sounds cruel and awful, but what do you do with the brains?
Well, see, then we have a special process that it requires some. Well, we have 2 applications. We have a liquefaction and we have a dehydration, and that determines what we make. So we make many magic potions of many different kinds, and we make a lot of magic powders as well.
Do you have any monkey brains by any chance? The fresher the better.
I mean, not anymore. We did a few weeks back, but we just did a fresh batch of a minor healing potion, which we were able to use up the remainder of our monkey brains that we had on hand. So does Lissa? Just out of curiosity, does Alyssa bat an eye at hearing about like the fact that animals are just getting brought here and mutilated and the brains taken out?
No, it seems very useful.
Oh, Zuri's taking an issue with it.
Very practical.
How
That's the-
does maid breeding work? I'm wondering.
That's the practical darkness going on right now with Alyssa. Like, no, that shit makes sense to me.
Totally. Yep.
Totally clear. Okay, so this could be some very polarizing dynamics here as we
What
get
does
along.
Sable
So
think about it.
right, yeah. See WWSD. What would Sable do? Probably get pissed. But anyway, so yeah, so he's like, so Brainerd's like, yes. So, and he's like, oh, I really like your ascot. It's very, it really sets off your skin tone. I could use some fashion tips like that. I mean, I think it really brings a lot to your whole look.
Why, thank you. I do, like I love it myself. I think it is more ascots is my theory. I think if the world had more ascots, we would probably get along better.
I mean, we may not have even had a morning, I'm just saying. And he tries to laugh and joke with you, lighten the mood a little bit. And he's like, so claps his little, his little dwarven, potentially dwarven hands together. And he's like, says, so can we do business then? It sounds like you may be interested in some purchase.
Well, that's the thing. I was really looking for those dragon shards, or to find out how to acquire the dragon shards. And it seems like you're not. The dragon shards aren't for sale, and it seems you are mere petty thieves who just steal dragon shards where you can. So there's no buyer per se or supplier. You're just crooks. I understand that. That's fine. So I don't feel like we have a
tradition of thievery at Arcanics.
It's you have a gross, morally ambiguous practice here of harvesting brains for potions and magics. I don't claim to understand that kind of thing, and you are petty thieves. I'm not sure.
But don't ask how the sausage is made. Just accept it.
So I'm not sure what business myself and Professor Van Hoovermeyer can provide.
So Laramie looks, you see Laramie like getting red in the face, and he looks at Brainerd and he's like, you hear what these sons of bitches, this what he's saying about us? I don't quite like his tone. I don't like anything about it. I don't like his face. I don't like his body. I don't like nothing. And I don't like that damn stupid ass scarf he got around his neck. I'm about to whoop his ass in a minute.
It's not a scarf.
This is pissing me off. And he starts stepping towards you, Kashan, like getting close to your personal space at this point, breathing heavy and looking like he's ready to do something.
Have you been sampling the brains yourself? Oof, that breath.
And Dogar steps up kind of behind Brainerd and just kind of looks over and says, we don't have an ascot, but we got this. And he just pulls out that thermal stocking cap and from his crotch and puts it down on his head and said, well, now this is quite fashionable.
And Brainerd looks at you very confused. Let's see. So let me get myself in good shape here. I think you should all roll initiative.
Let's do it.
Probably a good time for that.
All right. Dirty 20 for Skogar.
Oh, nice.
Hey, I also have a dirty 20.
Your dex is probably higher. Mine's 2.
I just wasted a critical on a initiative roll.
So you got a nat 20?
We're all getting
Yeah.
20s. 20s
Nice.
for everybody.
Luke,
The
what about
surprise
Lucar?
attack from the
9
the
for
underwear
Lucar.
stocking.
Lissa,
13. Lucky
Azuri.
number 13.
8.
All right.
Poor
Holding up the-
Azuri.
Cleric's
bag.
roll.
So we've got Velma. We have
A gentleman's
Velma.
20.
We have Velma. We have Kashan. We have Skogar. We have Alyssa. We have Lucar. We have Azuri. And then we've got DS and LS. Okay. So yeah, so Laramie walks up to you, Kashan, and he is he's very he's really not like he's so mad, like his face is just getting redder and redder, and he's like spit talking at you, and he's like just because we're country folk doesn't mean you can talk to us like we're freaking stupid. And he takes a staff and just swings at you to try to hit you with it.
How rude.
And he's going to get an 18 to hit.
Is that a fact?
Mhm.
He's going to hit me.
All right. But because he's just reacting, like this is kind of like a surprise round, really, I would say, for him. So he just does he does 3 bludgeoning damage to you.
The unwashed masses always resort to violence.
So this is Kashan, huh?
I'm in character, like I said earlier. I like to get into character.
I mean, I'm digging the vibe. I'm digging the vibe. Yeah. So that is his turn. So that's going to be. So Velma, we're gonna start up at the top of the order with you. So if we consider like where would everybody be placed, right? So like, we had. So they kind of came out of the front door. So you're all sort of circled around here. There's a well over here. There's a tree over here. So like you've got Brainerd is more towards the front. You've got Kashan. Kashan's kind of in the middle in between both of them. And then Skogar is more behind Brainerd, the one with the pulsing head. And then everybody else is sort of in the like circled towards the back, a little bit further back from what's going on, from the action. So what would you like to do, Velma?
Well, while we were all talking, I had picked up one of the brains and because I'm interested in monkey brains now for whatever reason, and I was sniffing it to determine whether it smelled good enough that I would take a bite out of it. It did not, I would say. But so now we're in combat. I will make I don't even need to do that because he's right next to Kashan.
Yep.
I'm going to throw the brain at Brainerd.
Okay.
And typically when somebody throws something at you, you like catch it or knock it down. But when he like catches the brain like a basketball.
Okay.
I guess that's a huge brain. When he catches it, I'm going to shoot through the brain, spattering it, and whatever is left from that. Hopefully, I hit the guy behind the brain.
So you're using your hand cannon?
I am. I'm doing
All
like
right,
a quick draw thing.
Do it.
So I throw the brain, and he puts his hand up, and then I shoot through the brain like a party trick.
Okay.
Well, let's see if I can do that. That would be an attack.
That's on Brainerd, right?
That is on Brainerd.
Okay.
That is 21 to hit.
Oh yeah, that's a hit for sure.
So I'm gonna say like one of the whatever this damage roll like splatters the brain, and the other one splatters the brain, and the other 4 go into Brainerd.
Okay. And Brainer's
and it's a sneak attack because he's with somebody.
Okay.
There was 4 plus 13, 17 total force damage.
Yeah, that sneak attack's always the killer.
I just got to remember to keep using it.
So Brainer's like, that was rather unkind.
We're even now. We can go back to talking.
Completely unnecessary. And
your brother hit me first.
And it's his turn. And it's at this point that he claps he kind of does a quick hand clap. He claps his hands. He's like, come. And you see some of the debris that was back towards the entrance in. Some of that debris starts to move and rattle around, and you end up seeing 2 sort of these clockwork type looking things that look like that. And you see two of those start to scuttle towards you guys. And those are they're called clockwork abominations, is what those are called. So they're basically, it's a pile of debris and scrap on the ground suddenly rises, revealing a large insectoid form with smoke rising between the plates of its hide. Its many orange-yellow eyes shine like dim lanterns and reveal no hint of expression or intent, as they just make like hydraulic noises as they start to scuttle in your general direction. So now we've got 2 of those guys that are joining the fray, and if anybody looks further behind them, they see the two farmhands that were, because the other one went back to the front. The 2 farmhands at the front see what's going on, and they're and they will shake their head no, and they run, they book, so they're gone. So it's for right now, you've got these 2, the sharp feathers, and you've got these 2 abominations that have gotten into it. And Brainerd is then, he's going to, so you're not melee though, Velma, because you're the only one that's in melee would probably be Kashan, because Kashan, you're right nearby him, right? Because you were talking with him.
When Laramie hit me, so I'm definitely with him.
So you're kind of in between both of them, I think, is what we established. But actually, Brainer's going to turn over to Skogar, because he doesn't like that Skogar is kind of next to him still as things all of a sudden.
Oh yeah, I slapped that hat down on his head. It's reeks. You suddenly you suddenly see a ghostly skeletal hand take shape in front of your face, and it rears back to smack you quite vigorously, and this is because you're getting hit by chill touch. Okay.
But does a 12 hit you?
12 misses.
Okay. So this cold, deathly hand, spectral hand, swings at you and misses you completely. And Brainerd's just like, oh, darn it. And Kashan, it's your turn.
All right. Kashan pulls out this shiny mace that he's never used before on anybody. He's gonna hit Laramie with it.
Okay.
Ooh, no, he's not, because I rolled a 7.
That's a miss.
But with a bonus action, I miss stupid Mason. I just pull out a dagger and I will stab Bernard with it.
Okay.
I'll hit both of them. What the hell? That is a 23 to hit Brainard.
That is a hit.
But this only does 1 point of damage because of the 2-weapon fighting. Does not add anything. But
all right.
I'm like, oh, still learning.
1 point is better than no point. So I don't care what you say. So then we are going to go to Skogar. It's your turn.
Skogar is going to just look down at Brainerd, and he is going to swing at him once for an 11 to hit.
That's a miss.
And oh my gosh. And then swing at him again for a 10 to hit. So I'm assuming that one hits. And then he's going to just get really mad about, and spend a action surge, gaining back his action.
Okay.
And this time he swings down one more time for a 17 to hit.
That is a hit.
All right. So he is going to do 14 points of slashing damage with that hit.
Damn.
And spend a superiority dice to try to trip attack.
Okay.
Trip attack Brainerd.
Right.
The trip attack came with an additional 7 points of damage, 21, and he's got to make a strength saving throw versus.
He fails.
So he trips down. And he's got one more swing now that he's prone. Takes it with advantage.
Damn.
And that's a 21 to hit.
That was a hit.
And does 9 additional.
Oh my god.
Of damage. Skogar's pissed.
So as you do that, like, if you allow me some liberties, because you're so mad that you missed the first couple times that you just like, you kind of like, you almost borderline rage out, but not quite. And let's say you think how you wish Sable was here so Sable could see this, because it would just get her so amped up, and like, so Skogar, you just like give me back my hat, and you take him out. You've killed Brainerd, and Laramie sees his brother go down, and he's like, "No, god damn it! I knew he should have opened this place up to foreigners. Son of a bitch!" And he sees, and he's just seething at you, Skogar, and from a range distance, but not too far away, he is actually going to shoot a ray of frost at you, and that's going to be for a 18 to hit.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And that's going to do 8 damage.
Okay.
But he's actually going to twin the spell, and he's going to hit you, Kashan, for a 19 to hit.
Why is he hitting me? That guy killed his brother.
And 4 damage, because you can't twin on the same person. So,
why'd you hit him? And then you looked at, and just in his that last hit of Skogar's blade was just flat against Brainerd's head, and the brains just went everywhere. And he's just got his brother. Well, this is kind of graphic. I apologize.
It's all good.
He's just got his brother's brains dripping down that big bone greatsword. Why'd you hit him?
And that head is not throbbing. That head is not pulsing anymore. And Lissa, we are up to you.
All right, Lissa is going to back up.
This went south really fast, by the way.
Seriously. She's
All
got
I had to do is
thoughts
a brain. I mean,
flying about
Shard.
the local law enforcement, if they are strong or not.
Right.
To be fair, I came in kind of like a jerk, so.
Yeah, I mean, we really have
That's
Kashan to
right.
blame as the headline here.
Oopsie. Then she throws out her, legit Mage Reader Sphere with
All right.
Big Wing and
Nice.
releases him.
Nice.
And that is her action. So
Big Wing's like, "Rah!" And first it looks like he's actually he's stretching, Like he's almost like, oh God, it feels good to get out of there. Ugh. Like
Right.
stretching his new cool new magenta wings, right? As he's like kind of like stretching, and then he's like, oh, and
And he
he
takes
does
it
the
all
cool
in.
fly around thing to like look badass coming out because he
Exactly.
like realizes that people are watching him.
He's got an
Um,
audience.
Yep. So
Yep.
he jazzes it up a little bit. And so that's your turn. Then you're getting
Yep.
yourself into position, and we are finally up to Lucar.
All right. Is the door to their house open?
No, it's closed.
Well, that ruins what I was going to do.
What were you going to do? Was it going to be something cool?
I mean, I was going to try to sneak in and look for the dragon shard while everyone was occupied.
Here, roll a d20. Tell me what you get.
9.
Yeah, it's closed.
All right.
Sorry.
Well, I'm going to assume one of those clockwork things is probably closest to me.
Yeah, it's like maybe like 10, but let's say about 15 feet away or so.
Well, you know what? There's 2 of them, right?
Yep.
Taking a page from Brainerd's book, I'm going to do a ray of frost and also twin it.
Ooh, nice. Oh, okay.
So I got 12 on the first one and a 25 on the second.
Second one hits.
All right. It does 11 points of frost damage and slows it down.
All righty. You said 11?
Yep.
Okay. Great.
And I would like to move towards the house.
Okay.
But sort of inconspicuously if I can. So like out of the eyesight of Brainerd if possible.
Yeah, I mean I think that's well, I mean you don't have to worry about being outside of the eyesight of Brainerd because he's dead.
Oh, the other guy then.
The Laramie is the other one.
Yeah.
So yeah, Laramie's focusing on he's got his eyes on Skogar. Skogar killed his brother.
Yeah, so I'd like to
he...
circle around and try to get to the front door of the house.
That's fair. So you're like, we'll say you're like over here on the left side of this tree, kind of trying to work your way around, right?
Yep.
Like sort of like as stealthy as you can be, because that's not really your forte. But you've almost like there's so many other things going on and so many things for Laramie to focus on. He's not even thinking about you right now.
Okay.
So that's turn. So now the Clockwork Abomination number one the one that you did not hit is going to go, and it's going to do a fire breath in a 30-foot cone, which is essentially going to really just kind of do like sort of like this area over here. So it's gonna hit the tree. Lucar, there's potential for it to hit you from behind, and we're gonna say that I feel like Azuri and Lissa and Velma would all be in range of this as well. So let's see. I need you to all make dex saves if you would, please.
Did you?
What's that?
I'm sorry. Was Kashan in part of that dexterity save?
No, he was not.
Thank you.
Yep.
16 for Velma.
Azuri.
18 for Azuri. 16 for Velma.
Yes.
And
Okay.
13 for Lissa.
Okay. And Lucar?
5.
Okay, so the 13 and the 5 are going to take 20 fire damage. Everybody else takes 10.
Oof.
And it breathes. So this thing breathes the fire on you, and then like after it breathes the fire, you hear these hydraulics or whatever's in it kind of go and sort of cool down, and like you hear almost like it's like recharging, so to speak. And that is its turn, and it's going to be Azuri, your turn. You're up.
Well, Azuri had different plans, but now that it did that, Azuri's gonna go ahead and pop out a spiritual weapon and whack the one that just breathed fire.
Do it.
That's 10, but I get to add 7, so 17 to hit.
That's a hit.
And then spiritual weapon, I believe it's 2. Ooh. What, 17 damage?
Oh, nice. Nicely done.
And then he is going to push up closer to the house to try to get out of range from where this one was to spread out a little bit.
Okay. That's fair. So you do that. And then top of the order, we go to the Clockwork Abomination number 2 that got hit by you, Lucar, and it's also going to do its fire breath because it hasn't done it yet. I need another set of deck saves from the same people, please.
Oof. That's a 4 for me.
Also, is there any here or?
Well, what's your movement?
30 feet. 30.
Yeah. So if you're doing full movement, then yeah, you can be out of it.
Okay.
So Lucar, what was yours?
19.
Okay. Let's see. Ooh, snap. Damn. Hot off the dice. 20 fire damage for the failed deck save. That's you, Lissa, and 10 for Lucar. Fire damage. And then this one also goes.
And the fact that I had to make a saving throw means I can't do uncanny dodge.
Well, you're out of Velma. I think you're out of range of it because last time, right? It was only Lissa, Lucar, and Azuri. I thought.
You said it was me.
Oh, on the first one.
Yes.
Okay. Then yeah, it would be you too. What did you get?
I got an 11, which is why I'm asking if I can use uncanny dodge or not.
I don't know. Are you can you use it on a saving throw?
If I can see Velma.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you need to get?
I got an 11. I assume it's a 15 DC.
No, never mind. I don't trust my rolling that much.
And when an attacker that you can see hits you with an attack, I can use my reaction. But this was a saving throw, so that's not an attack, I assume.
Well, I mean,
I can see it's a breath weapon, but if it's a saving throw, that doesn't count as a spell attack.
Then yeah, I guess if we're gonna rules
again.
If we're gonna
Hey, Lissa's in that club too.
Wait, I always uncanny dodge that stuff. When I was is that really right?
It's a lowercase. It says lowercase attack, so that might be open to interpretation because the attack action is an uppercase attack.
I mean, we've always played uncanny dodge has like you can use it on a saving throw against like fireball and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought the character we've always played it kind of that way.
All right, so
I agree.
Does uncanny dodge mean half damage or full damage?
Half damage.
Okay.
It does mean half damage.
So you're going to take 10 then.
Lissa does not have uncanny dodge, so she is down.
Lissa is down. Big Wings is now freaked out.
He's furious. Oh yeah. He's just gonna attack the closest thing.
Yep. And so he can go. So when you death save, Big Wing can still go because Big Wing he's sentient where he can attack on his own. Yes. Yeah. He doesn't require, he'll follow your direction, but if he knows he needs to attack, he'll attack. So, all right. So that one went, you're down. We are at top of the order with Velma.
Okay. I am going to, is Laramie dead?
No, he's not. Oh, and by the way, both of the clockwork abominations move closer to you guys. So, Laramie is not dead. Laramie is alive.
Well, I'm going to use my movement speed of 30 to move.
Okay.
I'm going to shoot this one of the clockworks.
Do it.
I'm going to use. Are they within 5 feet of one of my allies who's not incapacitated?
Yes, we'll say yes.
All right, then I will not need to do a bonus action to find his weakness. I will just.
Who's within 5 feet of
Oh,
him?
it's a 10. I missed with a 10. Does a 10 miss?
A 10 does miss.
Okay.
And
Then
to answer the question I think you're about to ask, Lucar, I would say probably Zuri would be Velma would be closest to. We can say 5 feet. I mean, it might be a little bit more than that, but I'm not super concerned about it.
all right. I will use my bonus action to dash and move another 30 feet away from
Okay.
him. I
So
cannot afford another hit.
Oh, interesting. Okay. We have an update to the uncanny dodge in chat. So we're gonna say, Velma, that gets you to the front door. Okay.
All right.
So you're up by the front door now. And Laramie could have probably taken I don't know, attack of opportunity. Does that happen if somebody just runs? You'd have to run in the path of somebody, right? Of an enemy? Is that how it works? Like run through the path or what?
Didn't you say he was dodging or disengaging?
Well, yeah, from the clockwork, not going by Laramie.
Would I have to run right by Laramie? Because then that would be an opportunity attack.
Well, that's what I'm asking. So you would be running right by Laramie, but my point of saying that is because Laramie, like I said before, is so focused on Skogar that he doesn't even care that you're running by. Like his sights are set on taking out Skogar. So you've completed your turn. Kashan, it's you.
All right, cool. Am I still next to that idiot?
Oh, you are, yes.
Well, I would like to disengage from that idiot.
Okay.
And I will go over to, slide over to Lissa, and I am going to give her 5 hit points, lay on hands.
Oh, nice.
My new paladin skill. You're welcome. By the light of my holiness, have some hit points.
That's what does Kashan say when he does this?
I just said what I said.
Okay. By the light of my holiness.
Yep.
Okay.
Nice.
By the light of my holiness.
That's great.
You are revived. 5 hit points.
That's great. That's great. The egotistical paladin. This is wonderful.
Yeah, I like
I love it.
Yeah, that's what I say.
So okay, so that's your turn then.
That is absolutely my action in my turn.
Right.
Yes.
So Skogar, although you are not in melee range with Laramie, you could get into melee range with Laramie if you move towards him. But that's your status.
And there's nothing else. There's nothing else in the way, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So Skogar just kind of like starts walking towards Laramie at a good click. He's dragging behind him his bone greatsword with his brother's brains on it, and says, "Last chance, the dragon shard." And then he steps up.
He says, "Screw you, you son of a bitch!"
So he swings down
as he gets ready to pose to attack you when it's his turn.
Yeah. So Skogar brings down 2 attacks. He's fully attacking. I'm just going to roll them both right now.
Okay.
Okay. There. That's a 9 and then a 22.
22 hits.
And then thank God for Great Rep and Master, because I rolled all these dice. Literally all 4 were ones.
Oh no.
And they came back as a 6 and a 5. No, they came back as a 6 and a 5. So that's 15 points of slashing damage that he does down.
Okay.
And he is going to expend another superiority die as a disarming attack with a max roll on that one.
Okay.
So it's an additional 8 damage, and it must make a strength saving throw or be disarmed. I don't know if it has a weapon.
No.
Yeah, the Battle Master at level 5.
He has a staff.
I'm not
in
gonna
his
lie.
hand.
All of a sudden, it's just like it jumped big.
He has a staff.
Okay.
In his
Yeah.
hand,
Oh, that's right. So he tries to.
And he drops the
He
staff
tries to
because
kick
he only
the staff out.
I rolled a 4. Rolled a 4. So staff has dropped. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He clearly said, like, we're taking that dragon, and quite satisfied with that turn.
It's Laramie's turn, and he's like "Ugh," as like he's bleeding profusely from taking that hit from your sword, and he proceeds to throw a acid splash upon you. And I would imagine that Kashan is probably within about. Oh no, you went over to Lissa. Never mind. So it's just 1-on-1. So he's going to try to throw an acid splash upon you. And I need you to do a dex save if you could.
Yeah. So that's a crit fail.
Okay.
Whoops.
No.
So you take a total of 11 acid damage.
Oh.
As the splash just hits you and sizzles your skin, and you're like, and you say that's gonna leave a mark, and because you have a bunch of scars already, so it's just apropos.
Yeah, Skogar kind of like flexes. He still stares right at him, and he knows it's eating his flesh, but it's a pain. Mike just takes it.
So, Lissa, it's your turn.
All right. Lissa gasps her breath and is like, "Oh, thanks, Kashan, thanks a lot." And then she sees Bigwing kind of already going after one of the constructs, so she stands up and shoots off a, what's mine? Firebolt. That's the one.
Okay.
Yep.
At what?
There's a construct still, right?
Okay, yeah, there's 2 of them, yep.
2 of them, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Either one.
Yeah, sure. 1 or 2, pick one and just go.
All right, number 1.
Do it. Roll it.
Oof. Oh, 13 to hit.
That's a miss.
Oh, okay. Well, it misses.
It just the construct just kind of goes and just sort of like slinks over out of the way.
Nice.
As it continues to skitter towards you. Bigwing can take a turn though, right?
Yeah. So then Bigwing's gonna swoop down and he's gonna try to attack with his beak.
Mm-hmm.
That is
on a construct or on Laramie?
No, on the construct.
Okay.
Yep.
Do it.
So that was an 11. That's no good.
That's a miss.
But then he swings in with his talons, and that's a 19 to hit.
That is a hit.
All right. So he does 11 slashing damage to this machine.
Okay. I feel like that's non-magical, right?
Nope. Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah. All right. So that's So it mars it a tad, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And it is Lucar, your turn.
All right, I'm going to fire off a bunch of magic missiles.
Okay.
2 at Laramie and 1 each at the constructs.
Okay.
So the 2 at Laramie are 8 points of damage.
Oh, nice.
First construct takes 5 points of damage.
Okay.
Second construct takes 2 points of damage.
Okay.
Oh, wild magic, I'm okay.
Okay.
And can I get to the door this turn?
You can get to the door, but like the white noise comes back, and white noise comes back. It's like, bro, what the fuck's going on? What the hell happened?
Looking for the dragon shard, buddy.
That's a little aggressive, don't you think?
I did start it.
All right. Well, why don't you finish it? Do that again.
And then the white noise goes away, and you get another attack.
All right. I will do more magic missiles.
All right.
9 on Laramie,
Okay.
4 on the first construct,
Okay.
4 on the second construct.
And so so you do all this damage, and then white noise comes back and says, "See what I mean?
Power. More power.
And then Astrid says, the door's
Brilliant what?
and then the white noise goes away. And so you go up to the door like you're gonna open it, right?
Yep.
But you'll be able to open it on your next turn. If we even need to get that far. We've got construct number 2, which is, I want to say, might be close enough to, it wouldn't be Skogar, it wouldn't necessarily be Velma, maybe Lissa might be close to melee, I'm thinking. Okay. By the time so it's going to come up to you, and it's going to try to bite you and then slam you.
All right.
So I apologize in advance.
Let it try.
15 to hit for the bite.
All right. Reaction, gonna cast shield.
Nice move. Okay, so then
So
you
that-
pass. So he fails that, right?
Yep.
And a 12 for the slam.
Miss.
Okay, so the construct's like, and then tries to hit you, and then it misses, and it's just like, it's all you just hear the and then click 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 of everything like kind of like moving and doing stuff, because these things have no, they are constructs, they are not like beings with souls. And Azuri, it is your turn. You've got your spiritual weapon still in effect.
Yes. So he's gonna take the spiritual weapon and whack it down on the one that got whacked before.
Okay.
As a bonus action.
Okay.
So that is natural 20 to hit here.
Dang.
So we're getting.
This could do it.
Let me see.
Depends on your rolls.
Spellcasting ability modifier, which is spellcasting ability modifier. 18 points of magical bludgeoning damage to that guy.
Okay. So as you hit it, it starts to shake and rattle and shake and rattle and shake and rattle and sizzle, and then it explodes. And I need Lissa, I need you to unfortunately do a dex save.
Oh, okay. I got a 17.
Okay. So you take 7 fire damage.
Oh, that's enough.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
So you go back down as the shit explodes, and Azura, you see Lissa bite the dust.
I only have 2 hands, Lissa.
and,
I already laid both of them on you. I don't know what else to do.
And the other construct, it actually comes, it walks over you, Lissa.
Uh-huh.
And it walks over you, and it pauses for a second, like it's gonna hit you, and then it keeps walking, and it walks towards Azuri and goes to try to bite and slam him, and we got a nat 20 on the bite and a miss on the slam. So the bite is going to do 20. Holy shit. Sorry, man. That's a lot. 20. Good golly. Okay. All right. 21. So 30 piercing damage.
That's enough.
Okay, then I won't do the fire. I won't tell you the fire damage. So then Azuri, you go down.
Okay.
And
Your
the construct
weapon flips
and
out of existence.
yeah, and the clockwork abomination, it just keeps moving. Like it's just process of elimination. It's just doing what it's built to do. And Velma, it's your turn, top of the order. Laramie's not looking great, and there's 1 construct left moving around, and 2 of your teammates are down.
Yeah, that's what bothers me. I'm going to do a
Kitty.
insightful fighting as a bonus action. This time I will roll an insight check on the construct. It has to roll deception against that. And if it does not, then all of my attacks from now on will be sneak attacks against that construct.
I got a 19.
I probably don't have that.
Okay.
Insight is +6, so I got a 14.
Okay.
Oh well. So just a regular attack, since I guess nobody's around
on the construct. Okay, do it.
Yeah. Well, that was 23 to hit. I'm pretty sure that hits.
It does.
The damage is minimal, 3.
Ooh, okay. So that's
enough, oddly, to kill it.
No, Kashan, your turn.
So my bro Laramie is up still, correct?
Yep.
Well, I do say, Azuri, listen, and I see Azuri drop. I'm like, oh, well. And then I would love to go sneak behind Laramie. Is he engaged with somebody?
Skogar.
Yes,
Good.
Skogar.
Good. Then I will make with the stabbies on him.
Okay.
With a short sword.
I really love a rogue paladin. It's such a
Isn't it?
odd mix, man. It's so messed up.
16 to hit.
That is a hit.
I would love to do. I don't have smites yet.
Okay.
But it has a sneak attack, so that's 11, 14, 18 points of damage on him.
Can you describe to me how you finish Laramie?
Well, I say, may your soul go to wherever. That's my holiness. And I
As you stab him.
As I stab him, but it's like underneath his like ribs up into his heart area.
I do think your holy place should be called wherever. I think that would be perfect. So
I haven't quite hit all the text yet, so I don't.
Right. So okay. So as you fell, Laramie, you take him down, and he's like, he just, God, no. God damn it. And he just like slumps like backwards into your dagger as you ran it through him. And once Laramie falls,
Skogar goes blitzing across to just absolutely tackle the other construct.
Well, before you even do that, as you go to tackle it, the construct stops moving and just goes back
I knew it was going to happen, but
it goes back into a
Skogar still does
pile. It goes back into a shamble pile, and as you tackle the pile, the stuff just spreads out all over the place as the construct stops functioning. So there's nobody else around on the farm, and Lukar, you are at the front door. Would you like to take an action or so to like try to go in before we end for tonight? And you're on mute.
I was going to go in and cast Detect Magic to see if I could find the Dragon Shard.
Okay. You go in, you cast Detect Magic, and there's some really strong energy coming from the back corner of the house.
All right.
It's a magic broom sweeping the living room.
Yeah. So as you go into the dining area, at basically the dining room, and you see just laying across the table, like right in the center of the table, is the Dragon Shard from Windshire with a shard taken out of the shard.
Okay.
So like you can see there's a chunk missing, and that's where we will end for this evening.
If I can do one more action to add on to your cliffhanger.
Yep.
So Skogar kind of goes over to the Dragon Shard. He kind of holds it, and he grabs something down in his pouch, and he channels the house that he's from, House Thrask.
Okay.
And you see some of the scars on Skogar's left shoulder all of a sudden illuminate in like a blue energy.
Okay.
As he activates his dragon mark of finding.
Okay.
And he tries to think, where would this shard have gone?
Is that something that can be revealed to you because of that?
So he hasn't ever done this, activated his dragon mark. But his skin, like some of his, like there is a strange rune that shows up in Skogar's scars off his shoulder, and it's glowing blue. So yeah, I mean, other people around would probably notice.
Yeah. So everybody sees Skogar's chest start to glow blue, and then Skogar, you can tell that the shard missing from the big shard is not far. Yeah. And that is where we will end for this evening. You guys made short work of the Brain Farm brothers, which was not expected. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for sticking around a little longer to finish off that battle. We will address when we come back next week. We'll pick back. I'll be traveling, but we can still play. We'll pick back up with Lissa and Azuri both being down and how we're going to address that as well. So upon our return. Okay.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thanks y'all. I hope you had fun, and have a good night and have a good week.
Good night.
Yep. See you guys.
Bye.
Wow. What was that craziness? 2 players down and an unexpected murder spree on the Sharp Feather Brain Farm? Looks like it's smooth sailing for the gang to get that dragon shard back to Windshire University. It almost seems like it was too easy. What was up with Kashan, changing into the Dean, wearing an ascot? Lucar didn't even cast any fireballs either. Who's gonna take the dragon shard back to the university? Will the gang look for Tuddy Rexpin on the way back to school? Answers to these questions and many more on the next exciting episode of Eberron Adventures, brought to you by the Wednesday Night Crew. See you next week. Hey there, listeners. Would you like to support the Wednesday Night Crew as we go on adventures in Eberron, as well as play through other game systems as we have in the past, like Ice Fleet and Alien the Role-Playing Game? If you're interested in supporting us, just go to patreon.com/Eberron Adventures, and then maybe you could be as cool as Jonathan and Andrew, our first 2 supporters. Once again, that's patreon.com/Eberron Adventures. Donate and get your name in the credits. I mean, that's kind of cool. Anyways, thanks for your support, and as always, we'll see you next week.